All right, I'm going to talk about bear safety and everything that I've done to prepare for being in the woods with bears. I hunt in Pennsylvania where there are black bears. They're usually on the smaller side, but some of them, like in my aunt's backyard, are huge. And I would want something to defend myself. Even if I had a rifle with me, I would still want the backup of some other things. So I'll show you what I've done. First thing, my favorite is the 10 millimeter automatic pistol. This one's a Smith & Wesson MP 2.0, and I highly recommend it. It's easy to use and has a really great trigger and easy to keep on target. Holds 15 plus 1, so 15 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. And the ammunition that I got is this Underwood hard cast 200 grain hard cast flat nose. 200 grain hard cast flat nose Underwood ammo. Looks like this. The reason for this is that this will penetrate. Bears have a lot of fat on them, so you can have up to like many inches of fat before it even penetrates. A lot of times most of the rounds just go into the fat, basically. So with this ammo, it'll penetrate through, and if the bear is coming at you, I would recommend shooting in the head and chest if they're coming straight at you. So this is my favorite. I keep it right here on my chest in a backpack holster, so that I just have to grab it and flip a thing with my thumb and pull it out, and I'm ready to go. So that's the number one option. Number two option is this bear spray. This is UDAP Bear Deterrent. It's a popular one. You get 2 for something like $70, I think, like that on Amazon. Comes with the holster for your belt clip and a nice system where it's easy to get the pin, safety pin out. That's this orange part. And you just point and spray. They say it goes 15 feet. But I wouldn't rely on that. Buffalo farmer, I gave one of these to him, and he said at 15 feet the wind blew it. So it depends on the wind, and I would wait till they're a little closer, because bears often anyway charge at you and then veer off at the last minute just to put up a front. And we'll learn more about that later, because what comes with the bear spray is this really nice little booklet all about bears and bear attacks. So hang in there, and like I said, cue this up for later. If you really want to know about bears, this provides some valuable information. And this is from UDAP Industries Inc. This is from UDAP.com. It's called Bear Safety Tips. Practice what you need to do in different attack situations. Rehearse with friends or family various situations in order to be prepared in a real life-threatening situation. Traveling in bear country can be quite exhilarating. Although most bear attacks can be avoided, there is always a chance of encountering a bear. The following is a compilation of the latest information collected from various wildlife specialists, bear encounters, and articles featuring bear encounters. Although nothing is 100% guaranteed effective, here are some tips that might prove to be useful in an encounter. Always have bear deterrent pepper spray in its holster ready for immediate use. Don't bury it in your pack. Be alert where recent bear activity has been documented by park officials, Fish and Game, Forest Service, and other public service people. Some common areas where bears like to frequent are avalanche chutes, stream beds, dense edge cover, and, in late summer, berry patches. Use extreme caution when traveling on trails at night or at either end of the day. Be careful with food smells. Never cook close to camp. Store all foods in plastic away from camp at night and when camp is unattended. We suggest at least 100 yards from camp and at least 14 feet up a tree hung 4 feet away from the trunk. Watch for fresh bear sign, scat, or bear tracks on the trail or near possible campsites. If possible, make plenty of noise on the trail, especially on blind curves, in dense vegetation, or areas with limited vision. Dead animal carcass. If you come upon a dead animal carcass, immediately leave the area. Bears will often feed on carcass for days and also stay in the area to protect their food. Bear cubs. If you see a bear cub, chances are the sow is not far away. Female bears will fiercely defend their young, so it is best you leave the area and find an alternate route. Be alert where recent bear activity has been documented by park officials, Fish and Game, Forest Service, and other public service people. Some common areas where bears like to frequent are avalanche chutes, stream beds, dense edge cover, and late summer berry patches. Keep dogs under control. Dogs can lead an angry bear back to you. We advise not to travel alone in bear country. Invite a friend. It is always safer to travel in groups if possible. Avoid prime bear habitat. Avoid areas that bears like and you can reduce your chances of an encounter. If you can't avoid these areas, be extra cautious and alert when traveling through them. Bears like to travel on saddles, ridges, game trails, and along water. They'll eat dead animal carcasses wherever they can find them. They feed on green grasses and also vegetation that grows in wet areas. They often rest in cool, dark, thick forests. Grizzly bears are typically, but not exclusively, active during the dawn, dusk, and nighttime hours. In spring and early summer, bears are often found in lower elevations along rivers and streams. They love to catch fish when the spawning runs are going. They will also search for winter-killed animals in these areas. In the summer, bears usually spend time at higher elevations, often in park-like areas. They'll eat wild berries when they are ripe. If you like to go out wild berry picking, be extra careful. Make lots of noise and keep children near you at all times. In the fall, bears are often found in white bark pine stands eating pine nuts. Sometimes a bear will dig around a tree to try to locate a squirrel's cache of nuts. Bears also dig for roots in mid-elevation meadows, especially in years when there are fewer pine nuts. Beware of recent grizzly bear activity. Always check with park officials, rangers, or other authorities regarding the area you intend to travel for possible bear activity. Always make sure others know where you're going to be in the back country. Learn to identify the signs of bear activity and avoid using these areas. Typical signs of grizzly bear use include fresh tracks. A grizzly's claw marks extend farther away from the pads than a black bear's. Scat greater than 2 inches in diameter is most likely a grizzly's. Areas where the ground may be tore up from bear scavenging and partially consumed or buried animal carcasses. Bear behavior. Bears seem to experience moods, much like we do. They can be shy, curious, pushy, or aggressive, and could possess other attributes that we can identify as human-like. Each time you get close to a bear, you encounter a specific individual that may behave differently from any other individual you have ever met before or will ever meet again. Grizzly attack victims are often not aware of why they were attacked. Many attacks are caused by close encounters where the bear has been surprised and feels threatened by human presence. A female with cubs will be especially aggressive and will defend her cubs from any possible threat. Many attacks can be avoided if the bear sees a way out of the situation. Bears are basically solitary animals. Each has its own zone of danger or personal space, which varies from animal to animal. If something or someone penetrates this zone, a response in the form of a bluff charge, bodily contact, or an outright attack may result. Oftentimes, grizzly bears will essentially ignore people until a person enters a bear's personal space. Even groups as large as 100 people have been ignored by grizzly bears until one of the groups gets too close. Most bears are timid enough to flee a possible encounter if they sense the presence of something or someone soon enough to leave the area undetected. On the other hand, when a bear is surprised, the bear may see you as a threat, forcing an immediate response. A person who runs when frightened by a bear may trigger a chase response. One bear will even chase another if it runs. Bears that stand their ground when confronted by other bears usually are not attacked, and bears that behave submissively have a lower incidence of being attacked as well. A grizzly bear rarely wants to kill a human. Considering the damage a grizzly is capable of inflicting on a human, wounds resulting from bear attacks are often nothing more than superficial bites, scrapes, and lacerations. The evidence is very clear that grizzlies do not try to kill a human as a result of a close encounter. They simply try to remove a perceived threat. The injuries that occur are more a function of what the human does to resist rather than what the bear is capable of doing. Of course, a grizzly entering a tent represents a predatory event, which is behaviorally very different than a close encounter situation. Young grizzlies can pose another danger. Often these bears have just left their mother and rank low on the hierarchical scale. Larger, more dominant bears often push these juveniles into marginal habitat. To survive, young bears do a lot of exploring. If these bears start using campgrounds as foraging areas, they may quickly become dangerous to people camping in them. In extreme rare situations, young grizzlies will even key onto people as a potential prey. Black bears seem to rely more on sheer bluffing than on charging and mauling. Those rare instances in which a black bear presses an attack can probably be grouped into two categories. First, a female protecting her cubs, particularly if she is also habituated and food conditioned. Or second, a bear that has no experience with humans and may regard them as possible prey. Body language of bears. A bear that stands on its hind feet is usually just trying to get a better look and smell by sniffing the air. This is not an aggressive posture in and of itself. It simply means that the bear is unsure of what is in front of him, but still could drop on all fours and charge. A bear that swings its head from side to side or turns sideways from you is expressing a reluctance to charge and is looking for a way out of the situation. If a bear looks you in the eyes directly and has its ears back, it's warning you that you are too close and feels threatened. A bear may also make barking, woofing, or moaning sounds to indicate this. If a bear pops its jaws, it is very agitated and most often will charge. Charges are often a test to resolve a situation and are often bluff charges, where the bear stops short of you, veers off, and runs right past you. A bear might bluff charge many times before leaving. A bear might also bluff charge a few times and then come at you at a different angle. A bear that does charge and knocks you down is attempting to remove a threat. The bear will use as much force as it believes is necessary to remove that threat. A bear can instantly reach speeds of 30 to 35 miles per hour in a matter of a split second. Never try to outrun a bear. It will only make matters worse. Stop, stay calm and quiet, and make no sudden moves. Break eye contact. Do not stare in the bear's eyes, as this is a sign of aggression. Stand your ground. Do not turn your back on the bear. Sometimes a bear will bluff charge several times. Have your UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray ready, but do not spray unless you are sure the bear is close enough to spray in the face. Look for signs of agitation and aggression. When a bear is standing on its hind legs, it is usually just trying to get a better look and smell of you. When a bear is upset, it may have its ears back. It may lower its head and swing from side to side. It may paw at the ground. It may make huffing or woofing noises. It may snap its teeth or not show any signs at all and just drop and charge with no warning. Back away slowly, speaking in calming, monotone voice. You want to show the bear that you are being submissive and want to get out of its territory. Do not turn your back and always have your pepper power ready. If the bear comes at you, spray the UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray, aiming for the bear's face, or spray a fog out that the bear has to run through to get to you. Being close to a sow with cubs is always a dangerous situation. Keep a cool head. Try to stay calm. Do not yell or scream. Some bears, even grizzlies, will climb trees after you. Also, a grizzly can reach 10 feet up a tree while standing on the ground. Right before a grizzly makes contact in a surprise attack at close range, and you don't have pepper spray, roll into a ball or lie face down. Try to protect your neck and face and pray. Don't stick your arm out, kick, scream, or fight. Try to protect the vulnerable parts of your body while remaining as still as possible. This will actively be helping the bear remove the perceived threat. Surprising a territorial mare bear or a sow with cubs will almost always be a threatening situation. Some bears, mostly young bears unfamiliar with the dangers of human contact, have been known to actively stalk humans. If you believe this is the situation you are in and have not just surprised the bear, it is recommended that you defend yourself aggressively. If the bear mauls you continuously, despite your being passive, you may have to fight back. Try using any available weapon, a knife, rock, fist, and concentrate on hitting the bear's head, eyes, and nostrils. Bear encounters in camp. The situation of a bear that enters your camp is to be handled differently than the bear surprised on the trail. They might not have any fear of humans and have probably become used to eating human food and garbage. These bears are dangerous and are no longer fearful of being in close proximity to humans. Make sure that you store your food properly. A bear that finds no food in camp is more likely to become disinterested and move on to bigger pickings. Try to remain calm. Avoid making direct eye contact and speak softly to the bear. If the bear is within 10 to 15 feet, spray the bear with your UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray. If it is safe to do so, try slowly backing out of the area while looking for suitable trees to climb. Make sure you have enough time to climb the tree before attempting it. Make sure you can be up in the tree at least 14 feet before the bear reaches you. Climb as high as you can and stay there until the bear is gone. Be aware that some grizzlies can climb trees and all black bears can. If you are attacked by a bear in camp, it may be a predatory attack, or it could also just be a bear seeing your camp as its food source. The bear may have made a conscious choice to attack you, or may see you as a threat to its food supply. Playing dead may not work depending on the situation. Spray the bear with your UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray. Fight the attack by punching, slapping, or using any object available as a weapon. Try to evade the bear by climbing up a tree or onto a boulder. Sleep in tents large enough to stack gear between you and the tent wall. If a bear gets within 10 to 15 feet of your tent or attempts to enter it, spray the bear with your UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray and fight back. Report the incident as soon as possible, even if the bear simply walks through the camp. We do not recommend that you remain in a particular campsite another night in that particular campsite. If a bear comes into your camp at night, get your bear spray ready and then look out of the tent and check out the bear with your flashlight. First, make sure it's a bear, not one of your hiking partners or other harmless animal wandering in the night. If you can identify it as a black bear, the situation is usually not as serious as a grizzly coming into camp. Spray the bear if it is within 10 to 15 feet with your UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray. This will not permanently harm the bear, but will let it know that it is an unwelcome guest and will probably not return. If you have time to get your escape tree, do it. But don't leave the tent if you aren't sure you have time. If the bear, black or grizzly, is hanging around the cooking area because of the food smell, make lots of noise and try to scare the bear away. If a bear comes into your tent, this is the worst possible situation. It very rarely happens, but there are a few documented cases. At night, attack usually comes from a predatory bear. If you act like a prey, you become prey. Once more, don't panic, run, or scream. But don't remain calm. Instead, fight back with everything you have. Don't lie still in your sleeping bag. Don't play dead. Use the UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray. Make loud metallic noise. Use an air horn. Shine lights in the bear's eyes. Temporarily blind the bear with the flash of your camera. Use any deterrent you brought with you. Unload on the bear with everything you have. Anything goes. Use whatever physical resistance you can. What causes a bear to attack? Bears attack other bears, other animals, and people because they have genetically programmed types of aggressive behaviors that pertain to population regulation, survival defense, and predatory aggression. This doesn't mean that there aren't other factors involved in some attacks or that people don't contribute to some attacks. Though we have established the fact that bears are unpredictable, there are 4 situations that are most likely to cause a bear attack. By knowing what they are, we can work to avoid getting into these types of situations. Number 1, when a person encounters a protective sow with cubs, an average of 78% of all attacks are related to these encounters. When a bear is surprised or startled, number 2. Number 3, when a human gets in too close to a bear's food supply. Number 4, predatory bear, which means when a bear intends to eat you. Regardless of the situation, surprise is one of the leading causes of bear attacks. A surly, solitary bear who is startled by a hiker on the trail may run away or aggressively confront the hiker, Most injury encounters with bears occur when the person gets within 55 yards before the bear is aware of his presence. Mark's experience changed his life. Since then, he has dedicated himself to improving a product designed to safeguard people against maulings and to help them better coexist with wildlife. In a short time, his 225 to 260 gram UDAP bear deterrent pepper spray cans have generated numerous testimonials from grateful customers. What about hunting in grizzly country? Sportsmen who harvest big game animals in grizzly country should be aware that the sound of a gunshot might sound like a dinner bell to a wandering grizzly. Some hunters tracking down their trophy elk can be quite surprised when they find a grizzly has beat them to it. Hunters who make a kill in grizzly country should make lots of noise as they carefully approach the carcass. They should also try to view the carcass from a distance to see if a grizzly is guarding it. The blood and gore at the kill site may attract a keen-nosed, opportunistic grizzly. Many hunters who have killed animals and returned the next morning to pack out the meat have been suddenly confronted by an aggressive bear who had claimed the kill overnight. If a kill site appears disturbed but no bear is seen, it's best to back off because the bear may be lying in cover nearby. A bear on a kill may refuse to back off, even when shots are fired into the ground nearby. Many sportsmen have been forced to relinquish their harvested game animal to a protective bear guarding its food supply, or they carry the quartered carcass to a safe spot a few hundred yards from the bloody kill site and then hang the quarters high in a tree. Alright, I hope you learned something from this. Please share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a great day.